something that that fills your soul for a bit. This is the best news. My boss and I have had a lot of conversations lately about passing up promotions. Because he keeps checking in with me, right? Because the biggest problem in the workplace right now, in America as a whole, is that people feel like they're not being offered enough opportunity for growth, and they're not being listened to, right? So my boss keeps checking in with me, and he's like, I just want to make sure that you're happy. Because he's a really good boss, and we get along really well, and I adore him immensely. I might die for this man. Only on the clock, though. But still. And, so he keeps checking in with me, and I'm like, dude, I don't need to keep seeking further advancements. So I used to work in, like, hotels and other lines of business, and I hated it because the whole pressure was you have to want the next promotion, you have to keep bettering yourself, you have to want something more. And I'm like, but I'm really happy where I am. But I kept like plussing myself up to get the next big promotion until I burned myself out. So like I went from being a front desk supervisor to being the duty manager of a 2,000 room hotel by the age of 26. And I hated it. And I cried every night on my lunch break on the steps out back behind security. And I hated it. And everyone's like, oh, you need to pull yourself together. And I'm like, pull myself together from what? This is terrible. I never wanted to be here. I just wanted to be front desk manager. Maybe. Like people only wanted to talk to me if they wanted to yell at me. Most of my job was evicting people. Or going to security incidents and being like, you guys need to solve this before sundown or I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I hated it. So when my boss keeps talking to me and goes, are you sure you don't want a promotion? I was like, dude, I'm happy where I'm at. I have a good team. I feel like I fit here really well. This job gives my soul purpose. The whole point in being a secretary is I want to be the person where y'all are having a crisis and you come up to me and you're like, I don't know what to do. Can you help me find this? And I always have the answer. I know exactly where to go every single time. It makes me so happy. I like being, Radar, O'Reilly, Johnny on the spot. I love it. My team loves it. They know they can depend on me. I am so happy. And I have a job that actually pays the bills. And I only have to work one job at a time. This is the first time I've ever had to do that since I graduated college. So I'm just like, why would I give up something that I'm very happy with a group of people I work very well with in the name of, quote unquote, getting a promotion? And my boss is just like, that's really hard to argue with, but I have to keep checking in with you. And I'm just like, if I don't report to you or my team changes, that's another story. But I work really well with this team, so I'm really happy here. And that's a conversation we have to keep having. Like, sometimes you could just be a premier person. Like we have career-long production assistants, and that's it. All they've ever wanted to do is be a production assistant. They've been a production assistant for the last 15 years. They're going to be a production assistant for the next 15 years. They're very good at it. They really like it. Let them do what they're happy doing. The problem is when you just assume everyone is happy or everyone is not, and you don't check in with them. And that's because nobody wants to hear the hard truth that they're being shitty managers, so they don't want to check in with people. That's what that is. Hotels are a tough business. Keeney can support both of us so I can have a job I enjoy and have a proper work-life balance. You have to do stuff that feeds your soul. I have only done... That's not true. I've done stuff that feeds my soul but doesn't feed the pocketbook.